and welcome back. I'm Emma McNally, and today we're talking about who's flying your plane.
Hello, I'm Charlotte Noon. So, the initial bits of the book, Emma,
Yes.
where you outline the underlying principles of NLP. Now, the one that I find so useful, that I use all of the time, is the idea that there is no such thing as failure, only feedback.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
Firstly, I love it, let's be honest, because the first thing is it takes off the pressure of always having to be right, always having to be perfect. Because actually, if there's no such thing as failure, it's just feedback, that means that when things don't go well, and let's be honest, we all have times when things don't quite go to plan, we can learn from it. And by learning from it, we can do something different next time. So it just takes that massive weight off your shoulders. You know what I mean? That you go, well, actually, if you go for a promotion, for example, and you go and get it, what do you need to learn so that next time when you go, you can come across in a different way, have some different examples? Or maybe your business isn't as big as you want it to be right now. So what do you need to learn from it so that you can then move forward? Just is a beautiful way to be. I mean, one of the famous things that I quote in the book is about Edison. So when he was inventing the electric light, basically one of the reporters came to him and said, so what's it like to have failed 1,000 times? And he said, I haven't failed 1,000 times. It was a process that took 1,000 steps. So just, being kinder to ourselves and realizing that we're human.
Yeah. And actually, sometimes failure can lead to the biggest successes. I think in the book, you brought out the idea of Post-it notes and how they were invented when actually they were looking for glue.
Exactly. And if you've ever used a Post-it note, you can pretty much guarantee they're not too sticky. But instead of going, oh, there's a failure there, they went, oh, that's interesting. How can we use it? And this whole curiosity, I mean, in science, when something doesn't go quite right, they go, oh, that's interesting. What's that about? Then learn from it. And that's where some of the greatest inventions come from. And so sometimes even with your business, it will take you in a different direction, or something will happen. It's like, didn't expect that. But look at this, like Play-Doh.
And sometimes that's where success comes from. So it's certainly a principle that I use a lot when I'm working with the teenagers that I work with, because so often they'll feel like they've failed mocks or whatever, but actually it's just feedback. It's feedback. What do we need to focus on next in order for you to get that ultimate massive success?
Absolutely. And what is success? Because if you look at the bigger picture, some of the most successful people in life have taken that as like, oh, well, what do I need to learn? How can I be flexible? And how can I then do something different rather than following the normal path? So so
absolutely.
That's really the tip for today, just to think about that.
No such thing as failure, only feedback.
Brilliant. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.